So this brings us to the end of the semester for the American College Student, CEPD 6178. So this class, we've learned a lot about a lot of different things, particularly in regards to the American College Student. But one thing we really did was use our theory to inform the way we look at different subcultures. The first one was the IEO model. And hopefully by now you have an understanding of how a student's inputs can affect their environment that can relate to their outcome. And we're able to understand that students' outputs can vary from student to student. A student's environment varies from student to student, and it all depends on different characteristics, their experiences, their identities, and a variety of different things. So hopefully now you can use the IEO model to better apply your practice as well as understanding students' experiences. And then the other piece of that was the student involvement theory, which essentially is the effort and the energy is going to relate to outcomes. The more effort and the more energy a student puts into their personal experience, to their environment, is going to result in greater outcomes in terms of development and experience. So that theory can help you inform your practice when developing policies and procedures and engaging with students, and how can you help them have a better experience. And part of that is really, it's up to them. It's up to them to put the effort and the energy into it. And then with retention, progression, and graduation, and the conversation around retention-based funding, the theory of student departure by Tinto is also an important piece that we've looked at, and looking at students becoming connected to their academics, getting connected to their social system, and looking at any external factors, family background, and skills, and how all of that relates together to affect their graduation. So these three theories applied together can help inform our practice in such a way that will help students not only succeed but better understand themselves. And we use these three theories to understand a variety of different subcultures. And one of the first things we talked about were, who are our current students? And our current students are a vast number of different people consisting of different identities, whether that begins with their race and ethnicity, and we know that the races and ethnicities are growing. And by 2060, it's going to look completely different than what it looks like today. We also know that we're seeing more first-generation and low-income students, which oftentimes go hand in hand. LGBTQ and social justice is becoming and is important, particularly in regards to equality and discrimination, and making sure students have a positive experience and they feel comfortable, and the campus climate is one that encourages students for self-expression. And then we look at international students. As we move forward, society is becoming more and more globalized. Students are becoming more and more transient, are able to go to different countries to get their education. And we know that the experiences that international students have can be very different from other students, because they're entering not only a new campus, but they're entering a new culture, new social norms, new experiences, may not have transportation. So their factors and everything that they're facing can be significantly different. And the other piece is students with disabilities, and this includes mental health. This is a growing concern in higher education, and we need to ensure that we're having the services that we're able to provide these students so they can have a positive experience, and that their inputs do not negatively affect their environment, so that way they can have a positive campus experience and end up with graduating and retaining and being retained. And then the other piece are veteran students. This is only going to increase as the conflicts overseas continue and students continue to come back for educations and benefits. And mental health relates to veteran students because a number of them are coming back with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and a variety of other things that impact their campus life as well as the institution. Then we looked at commuter students and understanding that there are different types of commuter students, and that commuter and transfer students can have a very unique experience and are oftentimes assumed to be the same type of student as the residential or traditional student, when that's not the case. They need to be specifically considered when we think about different institutional policies, programs, classes, office hours, assignments, and a variety of different things. So These different subcultures and hopefully your journal reflections gave you an insight into individual students' experiences and what it means to identify certain ways. And hopefully this class has helped you recognize your personal privileges as well as your personal challenges with your identity. Now, where do we go from here? Well, the future of higher education is looking increasingly diverse. As race and ethnicities continue to grow, we are going to see more inclusive policies. We're going to see greater equality in terms of lack of discrimination and bias as students start to become more educated and start to get out some of the stereotypical and racist notions that they are beginning to have, or that they do have, that comes with their family background. So it's important that as us as student practitioners, student affairs practitioners, we recognize and combat discrimination and bias and making sure that we have an inclusive environment for all types of student subcultures. And the first way we can do that is by recognizing our personal privileges or our personal challenges and help educate those around us about our personal experiences. The other thing that's heading for the future is mental health, and this is becoming increasingly concerning in higher education, particularly with campus shootings, counseling services, and reaching out to students that may or may not be capable of completing a college education. And a lot of times we get stuck in this idea that every student has to complete higher education, and that's just not true. We need to do what's in the best interest of the student as well as what's in the best interest of the campus community. And when we're considering mental health, we need to ensure that we have policies that are clearly outlined that are communicating with these students what it means to see counseling services or to be diagnosed with depression or anxiety or other types of things. Because just being diagnosed with something isn't a barrier to graduation or progression. It's just something that is, and it's something that can be overcome with proper help, offices, support, resources, and it's just important that we can consider all of those things when we are working with students in the field. And then the other piece is financial aid, particularly student loans and low-income students. Right now, student loans is a hot topic in the country. As we are trying to grow through our economy, student loans are being tagged as what's holding that back. So the financial system needs to do something in order to increase access but also lower costs. So these four things is really where higher education, in my opinion, is heading. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the class, and as always, one thing that I want to receive from you is feedback. So the first thing that I would like for you to do is complete the course evaluation that I've posted in the news feed. And I will give you 2 extra points, extra credit if you do a screenshot and upload it to the Dropbox. And I want you to be honest and give me the feedback for the class. Don't be afraid to send me an email and provide me with feedback. What worked? What didn't work? Do I need to change the times that assignments are due? Do I need to be more clear in some assignments, or etc.? So don't hesitate to let me know what worked and what didn't, because I'm always looking to improve the classes as well as your experience. So I thank you for this semester, and as always, let me know if you need anything.